Kathy. How are you doing today?
Hey, Nicole. I'm good.
You're good? Are you right now in Canada?
In Waterloo, Ontario.
Nice. Which college do you go to?
I went to Conestoga College.
Can you introduce yourself, your name and age, where you're from? The whole nine.
So yeah, my name is Kathy Dapal and I came from Philippines and now I'm here in Waterloo, Ontario. And I came here like, I think that was year 2019. 2 years, right?
The thick of the pandemic.
Yeah, just before the pandemic.
Oh yeah, just a little bit before, yeah.
So I went here 2019 and I took programs college. I have two programs. First is post. Oh my gosh, where am I? First is integrated communication postgrad certificate, and the next one is events management postgrad certificate as well. So yeah, the reason why I think most of the people know the reason why I took two programs because 2 year programs means 3 years postgrad certificate. So PGWP.
Yes, PGWP, yes.
Fine. So that's why I took two programs. And
that's very useful information, right? Because we always come across different students, like different international students, and everyone has a different story. So I think, someone is going to come across your story and be like, yeah, that's a really useful tip. Like, I can use that too. Because you never know if it's going to be useful for someone else. Like, I'm hearing this and it makes a lot of sense. If you're from the Philippines, which part of the Philippines are you from? Where's your family situated?
Well, I grew at Montalban. Well, right now it's called Rodriguez, Rizal.
Mm-hmm.
So I grew there. I was born and raised there. But, my family is everywhere. Somewhere at Visayas, Mindanao. So we usually go on vacations in one of my parents, my mom's relatives, my mom's parents, my dad's parents. So we're kind of all over the place.
Right? It's so much fun when you have family all over the place. Why did you choose to come to study in Canada?
I chose to study in Canada because my sister went here first and we should try moving here. And I was like, maybe I can. And then I just researched about Canada and like the way of living and how things work here. And I pretty much liked it. And also I was working in events agency before I moved here. So I felt like I have to improve myself as well in this field. And studying is one of way to improve myself. And also it's also good to be able to live on your own. Like of course in Philippines you have so many relatives there for you, and it's just different here. Like kids here, they're very independent on themselves and all that. So I'm like, I need that independency as well to really improve myself. Because not that my parents are like, don't move.
Don't move, don't go.
No, they're not like that. They give me
freedom. Yeah, freedom of choice, you could say
that. But moving far away from them really develop your independency. No one will cook for you. They always cook for me. It's just sad, but also you learn, right?
Yeah, you definitely gain a lot of independence because I can definitely relate to you. My family's the same. But once you move out on your own, you figure out everything for yourself, Although they're still there to support you, it's more of you got this. Give us a bit of insight about how your life has been here. How has it changed? What have you figured out?
So, as I've mentioned earlier, I was working in event agency and it's somewhere at the metro. So everything's fast paced. Um, yeah, so when I moved here in Waterloo, this is called city, but it's really different from us, because even our provinces have so many people, but here this is already a city. When once you go out from your room, you won't see any people outside. It's quiet, which the first time I got here, I'm so like, what's happening? This is suspicious. Is someone gonna kill me? It's different how quiet it is. It's different how people interact from each other. Um yeah, because in our country, it's like you're in a line, and for example, my mom, she will make friends in that line, just talking to them. Here it's kind of different. You will have like um what do you call that, like a short talk, but it's
People tend to mind their own business. I guess that's what you're trying to say, right?
you might have a short talk, but it's different when you're home. Like my
Mhm.
mom, she need to know how many siblings, how many sons,
Give me
daughters.
your whole life story. Let's go through the list. Check, check, check.
That to me is like different here. So
Mhm.
that one, and of course the weather,
Yes, the weather.
16 degree is already cold for me, and they're wearing shorts, t-shirt, and like my mind is blown.
I was just like, that's not right.
It's just, and then the lowest temperature I experienced was around -20.
Mhm.
I have like five clothes on me, still warm, and I'm still cold. So it was hard to like adapt with weather changes because it's so drastic.
Mhm.
Um, but you'll get used to it.
Mhm.
You'll make it work. Um, yeah.
Would you say Canada met your expectations though?
Yeah, but also it exceeds, I guess.
Exceeded. Yeah, no, that makes 100% sense. Because everyone comes here like, oh yeah, I'm an international student. But when you finally get here and you start to live life on your own, you're like, I'm an independent woman or man or whatever. But it changes. Your perspective changes. You're no longer just an international student, right?
It's just different. Like you've you've grown so much. You've gone a lot through, even just for 5 months.
Hmm.
There's so much change that will happen to you. Yes.
I love it. So, you mentioned earlier that you are under your PGWP, or yes, yes. So, how has that been? What's your experience in acquiring that?
Yeah. So from 20 hours per week work,
Mm-hmm.
I am now working for full time and
Mm-hmm.
part time as well, which makes me more flexible because working 20 hours is not enough sometimes. It's just for the bills.
Mm-hmm.
Now that I'm working full time, um, yeah, I can pay bills and I can also help back home. I also have my money to buy whatever I can,
Yes.
which is guiding. So yeah, um, but I kind of have a hard time to find like my a job in my field
Mm-hmm.
because COVID came. Even the experts were laid off last year.
Mm-hmm.
Now that everything is slowly getting back,
Mm-hmm.
those experts are now also trying to get a job, which now I'm competing with them. I don't know how would I do that, but we'll make it work. So yeah, right now I'm just having a hard time to find a job that really fits my goal and my passion.
Yes.
I, international student do like whatever's in front of you at the moment, just grab it as long as it's legal. As long as it's legal and that it works on your the contract or the PGWP
Mm-hmm.
options. So yeah, and just trying to start to build up my portfolio for my career, and also started to build up points for applying for my permanent residency because that's my main goal coming here. So yeah.
It's a whole process that we have to go through, and it's like whatever we do, we always come back to that. Like I have to get my PGWP, I have to get my PR. So it's a whole process that definitely puts a lot of stress on international students.
Whenever I with Canadian with my Canadian friends
Mhm.
about, they're like, "What? You'd go through all that process?" I'm like, "Yeah. Before I came here, there's this process, and our tuition fee is bigger or like
But
expensive.
yeah,
Go
but we get the job done.
right? And sometimes we even exceed the expectation of our employer.
Mhm.
I guess that's what international students are working hard on. Like if you got this job, you try to exceed more because
Mhm.
international students sometimes your experience back home, they don't acknowledge it sometimes here. They'll be like, "Oh, that's cool," but also it's different here in Canada. Like, yes, I work in events agency before, but here it's different. The culture are different. How you manage people is different. So they kind of don't acknowledge it. Um, that's why we have to work extra hard than the locals.
Yeah, which honestly to me is not a bad thing. It just pushes us more to find our potential, right? Yeah. Is this your first full time job?
Yes,
Yes, after like post grad. Yeah. What is your current job?
I'm working in a call center,
Hmm.
um, own
Operator.
own operator.
Okay, okay. And please share some insight on like what you do on a day to day basis, and what the importance of that job is to the community.